Joe Healey here with Devil's Digest and legendary Rose Bowl MVP, Jeff Van Raaphorst. Jeff, we're here at the unveiling of the huge wall redesign project here in the Carson Student Athlete Center at ASU. First and foremost, you're looking up right here, you see a picture of yourself with your name with the 1980s Rose Bowl champions. As a former player, how does that make you feel?
Well, I want to hook on black and white and Randall's color pictures. I mean, no, you know, in all seriousness, I mean, it's amazing what Coach Graham has done as far as a link in the past to the present to the future. And you know, if I was a recruit, this is what you want. You want to go and say, okay, you know, you can play in a Rose Bowl, you can be in the NFL Hall of Fame. You just walk down here, and there's so much heritage. I think that's what's really impressive, and it's neat to be honored with. You know, not for what I did, but you know, fellow guys that I played with, Aaron Cox and Eric Allen and those guys. I mean, they make it special when you have that kind of teammates and those kind of camaraderie.
Sure. How important is that for the former student athletes? Coach Graham's emphatic about how important it is to him to get the former players involved. An initiative like this, what does that do to help you know, build those relationships?
You know, I think Coach talks about speaking victory, and for so long there was a history here of players playing and then leaving and not feeling involved. Now you got guys that are coming back saying, hey, you know, it was great to be a Sun Devil, and they speak victory and they're around here. And I think, you know, you want as many people having good vibes about the program as you can. Also keep in mind, those guys are out all over the country, and you want to pick up the phone and say, hey, I found a tight end over, you know, in Iowa, and I found this guy up in, you know, Montana. And you want those, you want ambassadors. You can't have enough ambassadors. You know what Napoleon's theory was? Give everybody a medal and they fight harder. That's what they're doing here. They're really trying to create a link back to the past.
And what does it do for the current team when you have guys that probably don't even know a fraction of this history potentially, and they read these stories and they see these pictures and the championships and the things that occurred throughout the decades? What does that open their eyes to?
Well, I give you an example. When the old football office was at the Wells Fargo Arena, and every day there was before the football officer in front was a picture of Curly Culp, and he was in the Hall of Fame. And I used to walk by and I'd slap Curly thinking, you know, someday I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I walked by. But I had to do it walking into football. These guys are looking up in the meeting room, the quarterback room, or the linebacker room, and they're seeing ledges in front of them. And they're saying, hey, that's where the bar is. So you want those guys, you know, kind of hitting it and smearing the paint up a little bit and making it look bad, and realize that, you know what? We need to take Van Raaphorst down, and we need to put, you know, Taylor Kelly up there, Mike Eubanks up there, Mike Burkevicki, whoever it is. You know, I want to be the next guy up there.
Sure. From the perspective of a recruit, we'll kind of do it full circle, present, past, and future. When a recruit walks in and sees something like this, Coach Graham mentioned earlier today that the recruits compare the schools in every particular way than when they're on their official visits and so on. What's that going to do for them?
Well, I think it's going to let you realize that, you know, I can go down there and play, and I can realize my dreams, whether it's to be an academic All-American, whether it's to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. You know, you got, you know, your Ron Pritchard's in the College Hall of Fame. You have Mike Haynes in the NFL Hall of Fame. You have those guys there. So the sky's the limit. Really, it's up to you on how good you want to be, and it certainly sets ASU and really makes people realize that we do have a strong tradition here.
Sure. What does it say that Coach Graham did this, and we're about a week before the first games even played? I mean, he wasted no time in taking action on this vision that he had. What does that say about him?
Well, it says a lot. I mean, he got hired. I was teasing him at the last dinner luncheon or dinner meeting. 265 days between the time he got hired and the first game. In that, you know, he's gone out and probably done 130 visits. He's redesigned the third floor, created a history, tried to remodel a team, tried to recruit, tried to build a staff. You know, and he slept a couple hours along the way.
So now you're seeing the time period that you played in, some of your former teammates and the ones that played kind of surrounding you in the decade. Does this bring back any memories? I know as a member of the only Rose Bowl championship team, you're very frequently reminded of the accomplishments that you had. Does this just kind of bring back a little bit more of that feeling?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you know, you look at the stadium, and the one thing you remember is not the game. You remember standing in the tunnel with everybody looking out, saying, okay, you know, we got to go make something happen and really take the field. And I remember more about the anticipation, the build-up, than I do the game. Because I looked around the guy at the right, I looked over to Stein Koss, Aaron Cox, Bruce Hill, and the offensive side, you know, all those guys, Scotty Stevens on defense, and you look around and said, all right, you know, we've all been here now. We've been here long enough, we need to make this happen. And you had that trust, implicit trust, as, you know, as a brotherhood, that you're going to make it go.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Joe Healey with DevilsDigest.com here at the big unveiling of the major wall project at ASU, and it's already starting to make a very big impression on a lot of former players, donors, staff members, and fans alike.